We'll be leaving tomorrow, as you know. Almost destination unknown, because we're getting calls. Could you be here? Could you be there? But probably going back to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Some of you are going to be traveling with us.
Okay, that was President Donald Trump a little bit earlier today saying, hey, I'm coming home, I think, tomorrow. The reality is, this is an important moment in time. The question is he going to go somewhere else? He hinted he might not go directly home. He might go somewhere else. The question is where, and the issue is, what does it all mean? All right, welcome to Real News Live. This is a special Thursday edition. I'm your host, Mike Barra, in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is great to be with you guys tonight. I wanted to come on and do this special extra news show because a whole bunch of news has broken today, and I'm going to get into the questions and stuff over in the chat when I get a chance. I wanted to remind everybody to hit up my wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus, over at thecbdgurus.com. There's a link in the description for all kinds of CBD-based products for your health. Also, please don't forget to hit up Mike Barra Pets. Absolutely wonderful ladies there, Kristen and Diana, who can help you with all kinds of issues that your fur babies may have or that you may have. And also my latest and greatest, the fun people over at the LifeWave patches, the X39, the X49 patches. They do wonderful stuff for your health. I've got 3 friends who've been using these for about 6 months and are absolutely going nuts about how amazing they are. Link in the description. Follow that stuff up. Okay, so what I wanted to do tonight was to kind of talk about what's been going on in the news, things I've heard, and how they all relate. Let's take a look at a couple of other things that President Trump said today. These are really interesting statements by President Trump, and hopefully I get them in the right order. Let's take a look here and listen to what he says.
It was an obliteration, this election, and we got 312 electoral votes. So it was just an obliteration, and that means mandate. And we have a mandate that nobody's had. They said the most consequential election, and this was a enemy paper, the most consequential election in 129 years. So it's been a tremendous trip. I've really liked it. You know, like this is going, we're going 20 hours a day. And people say, how do you do it? And I said, I do it because I like it. I like it. I like the people I'm dealing with. I said last night, I stood in a line for, it seemed like hours. I said hello to Larry. I said hello to Kelly. I said hello to your 250 competitors. I said hello to everybody.
So what he's saying is, I have a mandate. Also, he said this.
For first term. Then the election was rigged, and I had to wait, and it became more historic, and I was able to watch and see. And the good news is although it's bad news in another way, but the good news is that Biden was so bad, worst president we've ever had by far. There was never a president like this. This man was grossly incompetent, and now that's been proven. But people were able to see how bad it is, and it gave me a mandate. We won all 7 swing states. We won the popular vote by a lot. We won the counties by 2,725 to 505. That's why the map is completely red. When you look at it, the map, it was an obliteration, this election.
So what is he saying there? What he is saying, what he is telling you is almost identical to the Q post, which is that, you know, sometimes you have to let the people see how bad things really are under the other guys before they are motivated into action. He is all but telling you in there that that Q post is correct and that they basically didn't fight the election fraud in 2020 in order to show the American people how bad things could really get under the Democrats and how corrupt they really were. That also may be why Donald Trump refers to himself as President 45 47, as if he's been president all along, as opposed to what he should be doing, and potentially, actually correctly, would be 45, 47. 45 and 47, he implies he's been in charge the whole time, which would go back to Jen's White House long Gentel on November, I believe it was November 21st, 2021, that she told you there's going to be a helicopter on the White House lawn and Donald Trump is going to step out and be inaugurated as the president again, or at least the commander in chief. So, what does this all mean? How does it all fit? Well, I have a news update today. I have a whole bunch of information that I think is important for you to hear that we didn't really have yesterday or that we didn't feel that we could comment on yesterday. The reason I'm coming on tonight and the reason I'm coming on at this time is because yesterday TNT Tony told you that there was a 72-hour window which ended sometime today for something to happen along the lines of the Iraqi dinar. Okay, I don't know if it's a public disclosure of a new rate, a simple announcement that we've revalued our currency and we'll publish the rate on Saturday, or that we start to get our redemption appointments. Could have been any of them. But what I didn't tell you yesterday is that his 72-hour window expired 12 minutes ago at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. That's when he was told. Now, my contacts have told me that, in fact, no, there is a 72-hour window to announce this, but it expires at 8 p.m. Eastern, the same time tomorrow on Friday, May the 16th. So that Tony was off by 24 hours. Now, previously, we've been told that if Trump is in the air for home at that time, the deal is done and it will be announced somewhere around or after this time tomorrow night. However, you just heard Donald Trump say we may not be going directly home. So if Trump heads to Turkey, let's say Constantinople, to mediate between, and also pay attention to whether they call it Istanbul or Constantinople when he goes there. That's very important for the future. But if Trump heads to Turkey to mediate between Russia and Ukraine, a deal will probably not be announced until Saturday, and we probably will not get our appointments until Monday. Just because there has to be some celebration, some glory of some kind in there. Now, if Donald Trump does not go to Turkey, but instead he goes to Baghdad, that means that Iraq is messing around, not doing what they're supposed to do, and needs a swift kick in the butt. That's what Jen told you yesterday. That probably means that the whole thing gets delayed until Monday. I got reports from my contacts today, not Jen, but my news contacts today, that yes, he is diverting to Iraq, not because they need to have their butts kicked, but because he's been invited to the celebration. So let's lay out a scenario here. What could very well be happening is that Donald Trump goes to Turkey tomorrow. He mediates an agreement between Putin and Zelensky. That is announced, and then he turns around and goes to the Arab summit to be part of the celebration of the revaluation of the Iraqi dinar and the other historic agreements that will be reached at that summit. I told you yesterday, if you do not recall, that even though Saudi Arabia and Qatar and everyone said they weren't going to go to the summit, they will change their minds. They did, and in fact, Mohammed bin Salman himself may yet go to Baghdad. Also, don't forget there's a 5-year delta on Trump's statement today. So that's a Q thing that's interesting to look at. Now, other information I have on this, on other things. The bondholder, the guy I called you the bondholder, I told you was named the bondholder, is in fact in Washington, D.C. tonight. He is expecting to be paid out tonight or tomorrow. Another whale who is going to be one of the richest individuals on the planet when all this happens is in Zurich for his bond exchange. His primary thing is bonds. He is expecting it at any moment. The broker, the other bond person I know, is expecting his golden gun contract today. Payment within a day or two to follow that. I have a brand new report from a verified source, from someone who I trust, who is telling me the person he's heard this from, he trusts implicitly and is not lying to him. This person was told that a major bank, one of the big four in the Midwest, not a Midwest based bank, but at a branch in the Midwest, is bringing in personnel on Monday. And he was told they were being brought in to exchange and take in the Iraqi dinar on Monday. Granted, it is a statement from a friend to a friend, but I absolutely believe in the integrity of these people. In other words, the gentleman who was told this by the bank manager is not lying. My source is not lying. So what's happening is that people are being brought in to deal with the dinar on Monday at a major bank in a state in the Midwest. That is an indication that that's going to be happening all over the country. And it also lines up with last weekend's information to the effect that wealth managers had been brought in to redemption centers last Saturday to be trained in how to do the currency exchanges. So, having heard all this, I decided, okay, I need to check this. Is any of this true? So, I got in contact with my friend, the mechanic. You guys know about the mechanic. I've talked about him many times before. He is a former Secret Service agent. He is a former 3-letter agency employee, and he still knows people that are close to Donald Trump in terms of his protection. I couldn't get a hold of him on the phone, so I sent him a text. I said, have you heard anything about Trump swinging back to Iraq on Saturday for their Arab summit? The answer was pretty much a given. I said, I hope that means there's some good news for us, because he knows all about the dinar. And he said, well, I can give you about 235 reasons that may not happen, although it would be nice. My response, let's keep something straight about the mechanic. He's not embedded or involved in the day-to-day back and forth rumors about the RV. He's aware of it. He believes it's true to the point that he's purchased currency himself, but he's not necessarily a believer in it. So what he is, however, confirming, and this will come as news to my sources who I haven't told this yet, is that yes, Donald Trump is going to end up in Baghdad at the Arab Summit, I would think on Saturday, because I'm not sure if it's a one-day event or if it's a two-day event. But he will go to Baghdad. So Jen thinks that's not necessarily a good thing because it means there's messes to clean up. On the other hand, if my two separate sources are correct now, that it is happening, the second source says it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. Because Trump is going there to be part of the celebration. Well, what are they celebrating? Abraham Accords and the end of currency manipulation is what I would think they would be celebrating. So my conclusion with all this information that's come to me today is that not only are we very close, I believe the reports that we are a hair's breadth away from this thing happening are true. I believe we are ready to go. And I believe there is a good chance, very good chance, that we will see this sometime this weekend, or at least some aspect of it that will make a difference in our lives. Remember, there are multiple things we're looking for here. A statement that Iraq is going to revalue. That's one thing. We're going to revalue. You're going to see it in the Gazette on Saturday or Monday. 2, a revaluation rate. 3, an actual revaluation on Forex. 4, a redemption center appointment. 5, being able to go to a bank and exchange. Those are all on the table right now for the next couple of days. That, folks, is what I have for a news update. Let's go through and see if anybody has any questions that I might be able to answer. Need more baritone. Okay, Irish guy. Sounds like we're going to get some good news. I classify most of this as good news, except for the mechanic's cynicism about the RV happening. But I just let him be him. That's not what he's not deeply embedded or involved in that process. I understand Jen is going to be coming on later tonight. She said I didn't know that when I scheduled this. Hello. So it is illegal for them to delete the zeros. I don't know if it's illegal. It might be, but it was stated very clearly by Dr. Shabibi before he passed away. He is the architect of all this, that there would not be a LOP. This is not what it was about. No, I did not get a girlfriend, although I'm going to be entertaining someone here in Vegas for a whole week in a couple weeks. Yeah, smash that like button, hit the CBD gurus, hit Mike Barapets, hit LifeWave for the X39 patches, 49s at SP6s. See if we have any other questions. Unexpected update. Well, I had a look with Tony's window expiring 23 minutes ago. I felt like it was important to come on and say his time frame may not be right. It may be later today or tomorrow at the same time. So, why can't I see comments or comment on your Telegram? I don't know. It's possible you got yourself booted out by me or somebody else. Go to Chris Iverson, Batman, and ask to be put back in and promise to be a good boy. Okay. I think Trump is going to Turkey. He could go to Turkey, or he could go to Baghdad, or he could go to Turkey as I outlined and then go to Baghdad. Yeah, Turkey then Baghdad. Dubai 1 2 3. Yep. If he goes to the summit, we're done. He's either going to the well, again, Jen thinks if he goes to the summit, it's to kick some butts and get him in line, or it could be to celebrate. I had understood that was the case, but now he's considering going because he's been invited to be part of the celebration. And what would they be celebrating if not their entry into the World Economic Forum, basically the world economy with a revalued currency? There are people having issues on Rumble. Are they? No, I'm there. I'm live. Looks like I'm live. Did I put the wrong link in, maybe? Shoot. Hope not. Let's copy that. Get it on over. No, it's the right link. Okay, that should be it. All right. Okay. Any other questions? Good evening, Mike. Hi, Carla Marie from Colquitlam, Chilcotin, Oregon. Prayers needed for medbed access soon. Yeah, we all need that. We all need that. Get a healing from Jen. Okay. Okay, Larry. Okay. Just a lot of people talking. Hit that thumbs up. Yep. We got Trump in again. He needs to reward us with the revaluation of the world currencies, or at least a huge stimulus check. Yeah, or several thousand huge stimulus checks. Hey, Mike, I waited up until 1:11 a.m. here in Manchester. Well, Frederica, I hope you heard enough. You're in Manchester, UK, one of my favorite cities in the world. Go City. FA Cup final at Wembley on Saturday. Go Manchester City. Yay. Anybody else? Anybody have a question? Istanbul will once again be Constantinople. Well, that's what it needs to be. Trump says he wants to pay off the debt and then work over on the sovereign fund. There are multiple ways to do that, and revaluing the Iraqi dinar would be one of them. So, love the news and laughter you share. Well, okay, trying my best. Let's talk to Steve Doran just this afternoon. We're going to get him on the Fenben and ivermectin protocol for his cancer issues, and he is doing awesome. So he's looking, well, he's not looking good, but he's feeling good. So, okay. Gina says it's her birthday tomorrow. She'd be happy with it this weekend. Me too. How do we find a redemption center to make an appointment? They will find you. That's what the emails and the 800 numbers are all about. Tomorrow is Iraq's holy day. When is their not holy day? They could be very much be told in the mosque. Well, we'll see. Mike, reports are coming in of the IQD RV coming in at 125 and not 322. There have been rumors for years of a sucker rate. In other words, they want to get you in there and they want to get you in at a low rate so they can, improve their margins. But if you're going to give me $1.25 for my dinar, here you go. Here you go. That's like $1.5 million. Appreciate sharing your thoughts on when we should get notifications. I leave that up to Jen. I don't know, but it sounds like this weekend. It will not be just dinar. It will be a full package. Can you explain what is the role for cryptocurrency to the world? XRP will be the transferring medium between cash, banks, and all financial transfers worldwide. What are you more excited about, the money or all the kisses you're going to get? I don't know. I'm the most excited about a med bed, to be honest with you. How will currency be authenticated during appointments? No idea. Most places will have banks and redemption centers will have De La Rue machines, which will verify. Rates have been bouncing up and down on the Forex. Okay, that's good. Yes, I do believe so. And he did not state, well, he stated in the banks, but some redemption centers are in banks. So, no, I don't think it's a repost of Jen's show. I think she's doing one with Marcy, or not Marcy, but Susan Gretz, I thought. I did not do anything to my mic. It's not fixed. It's the same mic. It's the same settings. There was just something wrong with the connection on Wednesday. Majid said DJT likely will not go to Baghdad because of the many militias in country. That's not the issue, I don't think. No. Yeah, Ledger. There's a link to the Ledger Live, Ledger Nano S crypto wallet. Absolutely is right in the description. So you pick it up. It's good. It's good stuff. Trump probably won't go to Turkey unless Putin does. Well, do you not really think this is like in the background that they've already agreed he's going to go? This is all just sort of stagecraft. I don't think MBS would be going to Baghdad if it wasn't celebration. Yes, and as we understand it, that's only a rumor now that MBS himself is going. But Constantinople is the name of the city, originally given by the Romans, named after Constantine, the emperor who declared Christianity the state religion of Rome. And the Muslims invaded and changed it to Istanbul. And it's time to name it back to its real name. The militias are not a factor right now. That's how they can do it. And, again, I think that the security is going to be good enough around the president. If all these other world leaders are going there, then I don't think that they're too worried about the militias right now. Gary, this is a really bad dad joke. Trump is taking currency to Iraq in a paper sack that they will ask him what's in the bag, Dad. Ugh. Okay. Questions about Bolivar. Are you going to have Dave? Are you or Dave working on any new books? No, I'm not working on writing any books right now. I'm too busy doing other things. So, yeah. When is the judge going to sign off on the XRP settlement? I don't know, but hopefully soon. Wouldn't you think soon? My kitty, Miss Fluffy Muffy, is right there. She's doing okay. She's still scratching in one spot, but I just bought a new cone, and it's going to be like, hey, if you leave this spot alone, you don't get the cone. If you scratch it to the point it's bleeding again, the cone's going on. So, will we be able to redeem all our currencies at the same time? I believe yes, absolutely, Angie. But I'm not an expert. To re-enter the Telegram, it's Chris Iverson, Batman. Get you reinstated. So, see if anybody else has any other questions. Got to get out of here. In case Jen is doing a show. When are the med bets coming out now? We don't know, but we think very soon. So, why is IQD not in WISE? Well, I don't know. It's not like the Vietnamese dong is an internationally traded currency. The Iraqi dinar is not really yet. That's what we are waiting for them. Okay, wow, lots of people. Deadline for the judge to sign off on XRP is May 25th. Okay, good. POTUS schedule didn't recognize this intel, but Trump is secretive. Here's the thing, guys. Have you ever heard of a president not scheduling his trips? Like, Trump's deliberately not putting it out there. So, we shall see. Ariel has stated the med beds for 2028, hence why Ariel is a bot. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up so Jen can do her show. If she is doing one, I don't know if she is. I'll have to talk to her. That's what I got. It's interesting information. I would say let's wait and see what the next 24 hours brings. We should have more clarity tomorrow. I am not planning on doing a show tomorrow after doing this one tonight, but I wanted to get on here because Tony's deadline ended 35 minutes ago. I wanted to get on here and clarify that my other sources say, no, it's still 24 hours before we hear something. Question is exactly what? Thanks for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. I will see you in the near future. Hopefully, there's something worth coming on